Hi there everyone, it is currently the 16th of March 2012. We're still watching Cyclone Lua out here. It's currently intensifying up to about 70, gusting up to 85 knots right now. That's about a Category 3 on the Australian scale for everybody watching this overseas. That's a Category 2 on the Sanford-Simpson scale, Australia scale, just slightly different, but it's still intensifying though and going to be a very dangerous storm over the next several days here. It's currently moving down to the east-southeast about 10 knots, about 375 nautical miles towards the northwest of Port Hedland. For anybody who's not really familiar with the geographical nature of this area, Port Hedland is right this area right here. You also have Pardue off a little bit towards the east there. Now both of those cities look like they're in the exact track of this storm, and at least a little bit off towards the left of it. That would be the good side of it. But actually, let's talk a little bit more about the storm right at the moment as it continues to intensify out here. It does have some wind shear along the southern periphery at this moment, though. That's kind of keeping it at bay as far as a rapid intensification. And if we pull up the wind shear chart here, you do have that shear down towards the south up to 20 to 30 knots down in this region here. Also a little bit off towards the north there, and that's why you're seeing this big fanning off there towards the north. Well, as it continues to track down here towards the southeast, it's going to be getting into this 5 to 10 knot area rate in this entire region here, and that's going to allow for further intensification. That's why the Bureau of Meteorology and the Joint Typhoon Warning Center both are expecting an intensification with the system as it continues to track off there towards the southeast. If we pull up the IR NHC imagery here, you do see that there is all this expanse of convection across this entire region here. That's just more moisture being fed into the system as well, allowing for further intensification. Therefore, I would expect this to continue to intensify all the way up to landfall, where it could be a very potent Category 3 or maybe even a weak Category 4 on the Bureau of Meteorology scale. Currently, though, the Bureau of Meteorology is still calling this a Category 3 max just prior to landfall. Make sure you always follow their warnings there too as well. But currently, though, there is an eye out here. If we look at the visible imagery from about 2 hours ago, you can see that it's kind of hard to tell if there is an eye or not. At least on this imagery, just got taken just after sunrise here. But if we kind of scroll over here towards the microwave imagery just overlaid here, just down here on the bottom, you can see that this pierced through those higher cloud tops in a really defined eye wall right forming in here. So that's meaning that the storm is intensifying. There is an eye wall here just starting to form up where those highest core winds are going to be located. So that's definitely the area that would be the most dangerous if the storm was making landfall at this moment. But another thing I want to stress here, and I always stress this during these cyclones and typhoons alike, is these outer rain bands. Those are also very dangerous. They can dump some very heavy rainfall out across this entire region here, and also they bring severe weather, tornadic activity, severe lightning with them as well. So definitely, if you're anywhere within the expanse of this system, it definitely is going to be a very potent system as it comes on shore. So where is it going to be making landfall? Well, let's look at some of the streamline analysis first. And what you try to do with this product is look at the overall background flow. Well, this is going to be very, very tough due to the expanse and circulation of this system. You really want to look at the overall flow, though. Basically, the easterlies coming in here towards the east, and that's going to be moving basically in this direction down here. That's what I kind of want to look at, is right through this entire region here. You see the flow kind of going out ahead of it? Well, that looks like it's going to be making landfall just the east of Port Hedland, out in that region there. And if we continue to use this tool or product there, then you compare it up with the model outlook, you can see that most of that is really inconcise there just towards the east as well. Overall, though, you do see that the JTWC track really kind of following what the GFS track is looking out on this one, and also the European track as well. And actually, that's what I want to take into a little bit deeper here, is look at exactly the European, which is what the Bureau of Meteorology looks like it's basing closest off of. And really, here on today, the 16th, we have the storm out here. It's going to start to continue to track off there towards the southeast. It does look like it's actually going to be hitting a pocket of warmer water here today before hitting a little bit cooler just prior to the coast. That's what these shades of colors are here under the track is. And then making a landfall midday on the 17th. So basically midday tomorrow as it does go on. And here is their projected path of the wind field as well. Look at some of these totals, upwards of 100 knots here just prior to landfall in this region here, and that's going to be caused by the overall wind speeds produced by the storm itself, but also The forward motion of the storm there just towards the east of Pardue, so that area right in there is definitely going to be experiencing the brunt of the storm if this forecast track holds true. And at this time it does look more so that it is going to be holding true here just towards the east of Port Hedland and Pardue. It looks like it's going to be making landfall in there. It could waver actually several kilometers in both directions, about 50 to 100 kilometers actually could waver here. But really, all in all though, this entire area right in here just needs to be prepared for some gale force winds and definitely storm force winds. And that's actually going to bring me here to the Bureau of Meteorology's outlook on this, where they actually have gale warnings for the next 24 hours already in place here, all the way from Derby all the way out there towards Marty. That means that you're going to be experiencing those very intense winds, those heavy rainfalls as well, and some severe weather is going to be expected with this as it moves on to a Category 3 cyclone. But also look out this farther towards the south. Looks like those winds are going to continue to carry inland, so really can be a dangerous situation even farther towards the south as that storm continues to track inland. So everybody out here just needs to continue to watch this very closely. But also, let's take a look at the Joint Typhoon Warning Center's track on the storm. It's a little bit farther towards the west as far as landfall, but the gist of the forecast really is exactly the same. They're expecting it to gradually intensify just prior to landfall there just towards the east of Port Hedland. But although this track really does take it directly over Pardue there, so that would bring it to the most deadliest sector of the storm. So really, anybody up in here at once again just needs to closely monitor this. If you are told to evacuate, please do so. And also, if a red alert is being issued for your region, always take heed on those warnings. And also, lastly, continue to check back with the Bureau of Meteorology for your most recent updates. This is not official forecast here as far as mine. It's just my analysis and interpretation on the storms out across this region. But thanks for watching, everybody. Please stay safe, and as always, please check back here. And also, please check at 28 Cyclones and on Cyclone Chasers. They're going to be down here as well chasing the storm, so they'll be continuing to have footage come out of this region as well. So stay safe out there, everybody.